Welcome, we're here at Printing United 2023. My name is Victoria Harris. I'm the Senior Textile Specialist with Mimaki USA. And we're very proud to announce the launch of our newest textile platform, the high-speed Tiger 600 1800 TS. The printer boasts 550 meters squared per hour. Typically, this is fashion application. We also, for your standard production, you're looking at 310 meters squared per hour. This will be for your standard, signage or soft goods for e-commerce, blanks. We'll see that the new printer is equipped with 8 print heads. It's the newly most advanced developed print head system. It's about 9.4 inches per pass, which is quite fast. You'll also see the new media handling system right here is equipped. I don't know if you want to take a look at the rollers right here. These are, in addition to having standard rolls, 3 of these wrinkle removing rollers are throughout the media transport system. This greatly reduces tension during printing. So we're able to run thin transfer paper. The paper you see right here is a 39 GSM, which we don't see any cockling. It's running very smoothly. So you're able to run also a mini jumbo paper roll unit. The Tiger 600 is feeding and winding from the rear of the machine. So you're also able to optimize your installation space. In addition to the mini jumbo paper roll unit, you have a 10-liter bulk ink system. So these two things together will greatly reduce labor, increase your efficiency, as well as your overhead costs. So we're here at Printing United. We're going to take a look at some of the Tiger 600 applications that were designed for the show. You'll see vibrancy of color, nice, beautiful, dense blacks. This was a fashion collaboration with Kenya Freeman. You'll also see designed here, we also have pillows and upholstery. All of the textiles are from Premix Solution fabrics. Here, this is a satin fabric, the pillows. We also have a velvet fabric here. There's various different types of polyester satins and different structures, and a crepe de chine on the end. We have here a wide range of sportswear interior applications, all produced with the Tiger 600 high-speed printer. You'll see here, these are an array of fabrics from Top Value, which is their best-selling sportswear fabrics. You see also Green Tex recycled polyesters. This is their Bati poly charmeuse. We also have more garments that were produced in collaboration with Top Value Fabrics, as well as Pattern Room. Pattern Room actually is a great resource. You're able to download, it's a library, a digital library of any type of sportswear pattern. You can customize it. You can order it from XX small to 4XL. Download one or multiple pattern pack, give it to a garment manufacturer, and it's ready to be sewn. It's a very simple process to streamline, and the garment always fits. So we believe this to be a great resource. We're debuting the newest TS330 1800 with textile pigment inks. This innovation we believe to be one of the next biggest things in digital textile printing. See here the advantage of being able to print with pigment inks on a specialty coated paper. The paper is designed from Coldenhove. We term it as Textile. So the inks are an 8-color system. You have CMYK, blue, green, red, and light black. You're able to achieve a very wide color gamut. Also on this unit, you have a new platen heater. The heater is designed to adequately dry the inks on the paper. And the unit also has a dual motor take-up. So you'll see that it's very precise on the winding. So when you go to the heat press, you'll have no problem transferring onto fabric. Some of the key advantages of this process. we take a look, we've shown you the printer, you have the Textile paper, and you also need a specialty modified press to transfer to the fabric. The key features that set this product apart are that you can transfer to untreated fabric, not just natural fiber, but also synthetics and natural blends, as well as even nylon fabric.
TS330 with sublimation inks that we have, and we offer fluorescent inks with this as well. Over here we have, this is our booth with fluorescent inks, and this is just demonstrating all the different types of options you can do with our fluorescent inks and the TS330 and the capability it has and offers. You can really tell how vibrant and bright and popping these inks are. You can do it on Duralex panels, so hard substrates, or even soft like socks, towels, keychains. It can really be sublimated on anything that you would like.
Welcome here. We're showing you the display at Mimaki USA's booth at Printing United 2023. We are launching our newest direct-to-film printer, which is 31.5 inches wide. You'll see here that it's 3 times faster than the previous model, boasting 80.6 square feet per hour. We here have an array of applications. We have t-shirts, we have hats, we also have tote bags, which are on a cotton canvas, tightly woven textile. We have denim here, which is also a cotton, which we printed down the sides of the jacket, very fine lines, details. And then we have a super soft fleece sweatshirt decorated here. Now let's go take a look and see how the printer is running live. Here we're seeing the full solution with our newest TXF 375 printer. You'll see here the way the process works. First you're printing on the film with the PHT 50 inks, and then you'll see that it goes into the post-processing shaker machine. What the shaker machine does is it pulls the film into the first compartment, coats it with TPU powder, and then it'll shake off the excess powder on the design and then go into the heater. And then the heater, it cures the powder to the ink, and then comes right on the text up on the take up. Now you're able to transfer to any textile type at about 18 to 15 seconds.
Okay, so here we're showing a t-shirt application. So we already have the t-shirt on our heat press. What you want to do is basically heat press your t-shirt for like 5 seconds just to get rid of any wrinkles or creases. Once that is done, you're going to take your DTF film and apply it to your t-shirt. Make sure everything is nice and centered. And then we're going to heat press our t-shirt for 15 seconds at 318 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is a hot fill, meaning that you can fill this right away. And voila, we have a finished application.
set the TXF 375 apart is it has a degassed ink pack to reduce air and oxygen from entering the ink line. You also have a white ink circulation system to be able to reduce white ink sedimentation. These two technologies together can greatly increase your nozzle stability and life of your print head. Also, this line product for direct-to-film is supported by Mimaki's industry best service and support. So you have a very reliable and high-quality product to be able to grow your business. Here we're presenting the neochromato process. The concept behind this is, to create a solution to the issue of textiles creating, 92 trillion tons of waste in our landfills every year. In addition, these textiles, cannot be, incinerated, creating really just a lot of waste, globally. So we're trying, Mimaki Engineering has innovated the neochromato process as a solution to create circularity within the digital textile printing industry.
To start, I'm going to do the process, and then after it's in the heat press, I'll go through kind of what I'm doing and why. To start, we have our printed fabric, and this could be after you're done using it. Instead of throwing it away, we will go ahead and remove the ink that was on the fabric to reuse the fabric. To do this, we put it on top of a metal plate and have our proprietary solution that we will then heavily coat with the solution on the fabric. So you can see here I am just really getting it very saturated and coated, and honestly you want to go until you think you have enough and then keep on going. The more the merrier. And this is going to be the solution that basically removes the ink from this polyester and allows it to be absorbed into our organic fibers that we will place on top of this solution. So as you can see here, I am just kind of brushing this solution on and really getting it saturated. If you don't put enough of this on the material, it will not absorb out of it all the way. So that is why we are applying so much to it. Really get in there. Okay. Lay it out. It's got some air bubbles. Okay. Close that up. And then we will then put a organic fiber back on top of that, and we coat that on top of the plate, and then we're going to put this onto the heat press and close it, and this will go in the heat press at 200 degrees Celsius or 390 Fahrenheit for 4 minutes. So the organic fiber is any kind of organic fiber that we will then press on, and when this is finished, you'll see it'll look like this coming out, and the finished fabric will be completely clear and ready to be printed on again. And it keeps the same texture and quality of the original fabric before ever printed, so you're not losing quality as you do this process. The organic fiber also can be, the ink can be removed from this very easily because it doesn't have any treatment. So it's easier to remove all the pigments, eco-friendly, and you can then reuse that again as well. So right now Mimaki is in the phase of development, and we're still working on doing a production phase to find a way to best fit this into production.
All right, so thank you everybody for joining. With us today, we have Victoria Nelson Harris, who is our Senior Segment Specialist for Textile and Apparel. Victoria, did you enjoy the show last week in Atlanta?
Yes, I sure did. It was a real good turnout, and we also had some really exciting products released in the U.S. market.
Yeah, you were super busy. There was a lot of new stuff, new machines, technology previews. A lot of excitement. So real excited to see or to show people what they missed at the show. So I would say let's go ahead and get started if you want to share your screen.
Hi everyone. I'm just going to walk you through some of the innovations that we showcased at Printing United. One of the newest dye sublimation platforms released in the US was the Tiger 600 1800 TS. It was a big hit at the show. It has some key features. You'll see here that it has a very compact design. It has a feeding and winding unit from the back side of the machine. It has applicable with a mini jumbo paper roll unit. It also has 8 print heads. It has a 10-kilogram ink supply and auto stirring and auto maintenance for the machine. You'll see in the front, it has a drying unit on the front part underneath it. This also has rollers, so it makes it really easy to install and to move around and get to load the media on the machine. One of the key features that is most impressive. At the show, we were running a 39 GSM dye sublimation transfer paper, which is, on the lighter side. We were able to run this, smooth and at ease because of this new wrinkle removing rollers. There's 3 of them throughout the media transport. And basically, these rollers, they have little fibers on them, which makes it different from a standard roll. And so during printing at this high speed, you're able to really reduce tension. And so you really reduce the cockling that can occur when tension builds up. So very smooth, very cost effective as well. So with this being able to run a mini jumbo paper roll unit with the 10-kilogram ink supply and this new media transport system and rollers, you really effectively can reduce your overall cost to approximately 15 cents per square meter.
So Victoria, on this with the mini jumbo roll, what's the maximum width that we can run on it?
You can run maximum up to your 74-inch standard rolls.
Okay.
Here you'll see this outlines the compact design of the unit. It shows you the perspective from the rear as well as the front side. The rear of the machine, it's where the feeding and winding is happening. So it really allows you to optimize your space and installation site. You have a lot more flexibility. You also, from the front side, you'll see that the heater unit is on the front end that goes underneath. And then there's a media pathing. The really advantage with the mini jumbo roll unit is really it's very cost effective to reduce your cost overhead as well as labor from not having to change out the rolls continuously throughout a production day. The specifications you can run up to are 660 pounds and approximately a 60 centimeter diameter.
So we were running at production speed during this show, is that right?
Yes.
So how long did we basically went through 1 roll a day? Is that essentially what we were at?
So we went through, took us, was it a roll and a half? So we got through a day and a half, and then we switched it out and almost got through the second roll. So it's pretty impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, we were running it at 1 pass, which is approximately, 550 meters squared per hour or 333 linear meters. So it was very fast.
So we got the big the mini jumbo roll plus the large ink tanks. That means load it up and run all day, and there's going to be very little user intervention there. That's a great system.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really smooth sailing. It's makes it for like easy production workflow. You can get in the morning. You can easily go up to the MPC, which is the touch screen controller that we had. If you'll see over here, there's touch screen controller right here. This makes it really easy to be able to just load all your jobs for the day and hit go, and then just let that thing run like a workhorse. So this is very streamlined production.
Right.
Here, I think we just covered some of this, but we were running at the show at the 550 meters squared per hour. We did do a couple little, denser, more solid colors in that 310 meters squared per hour range. Really, when you're looking to do sportswear or signage, those applications that are going to require a little bit more ink and dark solids on the paper, you're going to be in that production 1-2 range. We also have the quality production range at 170 meters squared per hour. Some of the new features with the Tiger 600 release, it does have an internal buffer tank, which is really convenient because you can switch out the ink during production. And you also say if you you run out of ink during production, you have about 24 minutes or so that you have with the 2-liter buffer tank, that you can keep running for. It has a weight detection sensor, so it lets you know, whenever you're getting low on ink. It also has a new ink circulation system, as well as a degassing unit. The degassing unit module has been placed right directly above the print head. So this really increases your nozzle stability, which is really important. And the new Tiger also has flushing boxes on both sides of the platen. So those of you who are familiar with some higher production dye sub machines, there's always the traditional CMYK bars that are printed on the edge of the paper or fabric. We've now given the option to eliminate that. So you get, approximately like 1.5 centimeters on both sides of the paper. So you can really optimize an additional width on your fabric. The Tiger 600 also lets you choose. You can do the flushing boxes and the CMYK bars, or one or the other would be like more commonly chosen. Really, the flushing boxes are also keep your printer in good health because you're able to really reduce those nozzles from drying out, because with each pass you're able to jet a little bit of ink. So it's a twofold positive solution. Also with this machine, we have a nozzle recovery system. And we also have a unique function with the head select function is a new technology with this machine. Basically, there's 8 print heads. You have 2 rows. They're aligned. And each print head, just going off on a tangent for a second, each print head actually has 4 sections. And they're staggered, and so what that means is your alignments are very, very accurate, and details are very precise. You also, the total width for one pass is about 9.44 inches or 240 millimeters. So that really gives you a good idea. That's quite fast, of how we're printing at these speeds and at this quality. But the head select function's a newer technology that, so for the 2 rows, you have 8 sections between the 2 print heads. And so say if you do have nozzle dropout and you need to stay in production, it allows you to select 1 row and turn it off. So it's a really, nice feature if you really just don't have the time to go through any kind of cleaning function and you just want to keep production going. This is a great feature. It's a 10-liter ink system, CMYK, Echo Passport certified ink, and we are in process of getting the blue sign certification, which we are, very proud to be moving in this direction. It's one of the most sustainable, or it is the most sustainable and most stringent, environmentally sustainable certification possible. This piece right here, it just really shares with everyone the disruption, within the market and the opportunity to disrupt with the new Tiger 600. It has been very strategically placed to be unmatched per speed, quality at, the price point. So we just show you its positioning here.
So Travis, this was a new term that we had not heard before this show, and I think it's really interesting. But there was a little bit of confusion with different terms, things like that. So looking forward to you kind of clarifying Trappist and what that means for Mimaki.
Okay, sure. So Trappist is really the term that Mimaki is using to define all of the elements that play a part, as one solution for the textile pigment transfer. There's, you need the paper that you're printing on with the pigment inks, you need the printer, and then you need a specialty heat press to be able to transfer the design from the paper to the fabric.
So Trappist is not a replacement, let's say, for Textile. it's a system that includes that textile paper within it. That's a key component of the system.
Yes,
Okay.
precisely. Yeah, so Trappist kind of brings it all together as the one solution. So very simple process. This is, Mimaki is the only manufacturer really bringing, that has brought this solution to the market. And it allows people that are existing dye sublimation transfer users to, get into a new part of the market. If they want to print a wider range than textiles than just polyester, it's a very small learning curve because its key process is, very similar, right? You're
Okay.
really printing on a paper and then you're transferring to a fabric. You'll see here, it's the same process as, you create within your, RIP file, you create with it, sorry, in your Adobe design file, you bring it into a RIP, you hit Q for printing on the printer. You then, once you print on the Textile paper with Mimaki TP 410 pigment inks, you then go to a specialty heat press that has an additional 5-bar pressure and transfer the design from the paper to the fabric. The key elements here that set it apart in the industry as a solution is that you can transfer onto untreated fabric. Pre-treatment on fabrics within the U.S. can cost you anywhere from, 250 all the way up to $3.15 per yard. So this is a much more cost-effective solution to eliminate. Also, you don't need any complex, chemistry or knowledge base. A lot of times with aqueous digital textile printing, the fabric has to be pre-treated. There's different formulas involved. Then you go to the post-processing with steaming and washing, and there's different formulas here. So, you don't need any of that. So you've really, made it
So
a
people are able
simple.
to take that
Yeah.
that same workflow that they're used to, and just changing out some of the components, and that gives them a much wider range of applications that they can move to without having to learn something completely new.
Yeah, precisely. I think, yeah, not having, I guess if we wanted to like shorten it to, you just don't need to have a lot of specialty knowledge base.
Very
So,
exciting.
yeah, and you can print a wider range of fabrics. You're not limited to any fabric type. You can
Okay.
print synthetic textiles, which would be like polyester, even nylon. Nylon historically has been very difficult to print and also requires a lot of special knowledge base. So now you can print nylon easily, you can print natural fibers, and even for a lot of businesses, there's a demand for blends, and now you can also print, a natural and synthetic blend, as well as all of the other, regenerated cellulosic fibers, rayon, hemp,
Wow.
as well. So pretty big deal for the versatility you're getting, and much easier and sustainable process.
Right.
This shows you the different technologies, to be able to make it work. You'll see there's the Coldenhove's Textile paper. Mimaki's used the TS330 1600, which was an existing dye sublimation transfer platform, and then was re-engineered to work with the Textile pigment inks. I'll share a little bit more detail regarding the inks on the next slide.
Okay.
And then we also have, you can get Cleaverick and Monte Antonio both developed a specialty press with additional 5-bar pressure to be able to transfer the design from the paper to the fabric. We get asked all the time, can you use any heat press? You cannot. You actually require this additional, pressure roller on these heat presses to be able to make this solution work. You'd need the pressure to transfer the coating on the paper with the ink to the fabric.
Excellent. And if somebody's coming from a traditional dye sublimation onto polyester and they move to this doesn't keep them from continuing to go on to polyester like they were before, correct?
Yes.
So it's just it's a big plus all the way around.
Yes.
Excellent.
Here, this is just going to take a note of the fastness properties and the paper weight. You're looking at a GSM of 115. And for wet rubbing, approximately a 4, dry rubbing a 5, and wash fastness at a 4.5. So there's a great versatility of application markets that we can access with this new solution, or we can offer this new solution to a wide range of application markets.
So that level of light fastness and all of that, what markets would be a market that would take advantage of that?
Yep. So for the light fastness, you're looking at a 7. So that would be really great for your home decor and interiors. And there could be a lot of niche applications as well. Even some, retail applications or display, hospitality markets could be applicable where they're, exposed to a lot of UV light through windows. Really, those are key markets for products that require, high UV resistance, abrasion resistance, and wash fastness. You're going to be looking more at, products that require washing, so more apparel. Yep. So really, you're looking at predominantly those two markets, as well as it's a great application for promotional items.
Okay.
So it's a really great thing, say for if you're existing signage company and you want to get in and, diversify and get into expand your fabric types. This is a great opportunity to take on a new technology and be able to, diversify some of the fibers that you're printing on.
Great point.
So you're looking standard production speed about 20 meters squared per hour. The new TP410 8-color ink has the CMYK, red, green, blue, and light black. So with this new ink, we have a really wide, color gamut, which is very exciting. You also, another key feature of the TS330 is you'll have this, the new developed platinum heater. So this new heater is an option with, is able to adequately dry the pigment inks on the paper. And the TS330 has excellent take up and winding. So you can never see, at the show, it could be winding all day and you'll see the motor is actually a dual motor take up. So the paper is perfectly aligned on the edge. So this makes it really easy to take it over to a heat press and transfer error-free. So.
Right.
We went over most of this, but just to lead into it, that this solution has the opportunity to really make a huge impact on sustainability for the industry, and to get us to, take a step in the right direction. It's a waterless printing process, and nearly less than 1 liter of water is used per square meter. So, there is some water used in the development of the paper and the coating, that part of it, but it's, it's very minimal, so this is significant. We also see your ink savings up to direct to fabric could be 30% plus. So you're able to reduce your ink cost for pigment printing. We did mention, customers are familiar with it. No pre or post treatment, no complex knowledge base. And also the colors are very vibrant, especially we're delivering it with an 8-color system. And so you get really excellent vibrancy, fastness, and the largest versatility of fabric types. One of the key features that we're seeing a lot of the market, especially in the US, a huge shift within the apparel industry, to relocalizing and manufacturing in the US
Right.
and reshoring. And so a lot of the movement with localization also was sustainability. And before the pandemic, it was like everybody was talking about it, but nobody was really taking the steps. And now we see the market going there, in a huge movement, and a lot of the larger to medium sized brands, even small brands, are taking those little steps. So they're switching over their fabrics, a couple at a time for the medium and larger ones. And we see a lot of emerging businesses that are, looking for more sustainable solutions. So with the textile pigment transfer solution, you're not only, making it easy for them to get into digital printing, but we're also giving them the story and the most sustainable solution. This solution is about 1/10 the cost of any comparable, competitive sustainable pigment solution. It also is, uses about 72 grams of CO2 per square meter versus, when you take a look at analog printing, you're looking at about 860 grams of CO2, per square meter. And then wet dye digital printing, you're about half of that. So really, this is a significant step in the right direction. And getting as the water, we do have a water crisis globally. So using less water in production is also very key to drive the market forward. Also significant ink usage compared to direct-to-fabric printing. This could be anywhere for 30% up less ink, and reduction of installation cost. And I mentioned this in the last slide, but really this is an affordable solution to get into.
I would think it's also got to be less expensive to run, right? Because if you're not doing steaming and pre-treatment and washing afterwards, even just the power consumption is going to be a lot less on a system like this.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, great. All right, so on to direct to film. This is another exciting one for us. Tell us what we got going on here.
Yes. So one of the other biggest, technologies at Printing United that was capturing a huge amount of attention, especially within Mimaki's booth. I think at one point there was, 40 some people just hovering around this section, which was very exciting. So the TXF 375 we have released launched, in the North American market. This is about 3 times faster than the TXF 150. You'll see it has a 31.5 inch wide. You have the CMYK and then 4 whites for the ink configuration. All of the same attributes as the TXF 150. Mimaki really came to market with a solution that solved a lot of the instability that we were seeing. We were seeing, within the direct to film market, there was a lot of instability and lack of support. So really, Mimaki engineered this machine, the TXF, to be able to have the right technologies to solve those issues, backed by Mimaki's pretty wide distribution channel and industry best service and support. You'll see the key tech. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
I think certainly the Mimaki service and support tied together with the Mimaki hardware, tied together with the Mimaki ink, and then the Mimaki software as well. I think that, putting that all together, it was so successful with the TXF 150, right? I mean, we basically sold everything we had to sell very, very quickly on those. And to be able to come out with a 2-head version that's 3 times faster, it's a home run for sure.
Yep, absolutely. And we're showing here, some of the key technologies, but you have that white ink circulation, prevent white ink sedimentation, degassed ink pack, really increasing your nozzle stability by reducing or removing all the air from mixing and gases from mixing with the ink. You also have a nozzle check unit recovery system, new pinch roller system, and then it has an auto cleaning functions. These key technologies here are really, elevating the TXF within the current market.
Fantastic.
This is just a comparison with the new product. It's approximately 3 times faster than the previous model. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And here you can do about, for a 12 inch by 14 inch, t-shirt design. If you're using color and white, you can do approximately 22 shirts. Say if you're doing a light colored fabric, I'm talking right now, I'm referring to the TXF 150, the one on the bottom. If you're doing, say, a lighter color thing, you're not using white, you can do double. Approximately, this would be, 45, 44 shirts. And then you'll see for the larger t-shirts, you could do about 66 t-shirts per hour.
Great.
We also have the full solution to be able to print with the TXF 150/75. And then what happens there is you print on the film with the pigment inks. Then it goes into the TXYXP shaker machine. The shaker machine is really an application machine to put a adhesive powder on top of the ink. So once the film comes off the printer and you've printed your design, then it goes into the shaker. The shaker then applies dust on a little bit of the TPU powder, and then it has a second compartment. Well, first compartment dusts the powder, then shakes off the excess. Then it goes into the heater. The heater melts the TPU powder on top of the inks and then goes on the take-up. So it's fully automated. Compared to DTG, you don't have to pre-treat, the fabric to use white, and you don't need a labor person to take, the t-shirt from pre-treatment to dry to print to then cure. So it's really simple. You can literally just, with this new solution, you can do this is a 31.5 inch wide shaker. So you're able to, maximize, your design width and printable width with the TXF and then the YXP. So you're looking at significantly reducing your efficiency and your production. And you can really just do it in a full seamless process. The shaker, the YXP, is able to, has an intelligent heater. You have a two-sided heater, which is different compared to competitive models. You also have 3 sensors throughout the unit that automatically sync together, which make for really easy production.
Fantastic. Neochromato. So this was a really interesting technology preview. Yet another one from Mimaki. We were running this live in the booth, and I think it really amazed people to see this process. So tell us a little bit about it.
So the Neochromato process really, is a concept being brought, to market to, really, I think, provide a solution to the current, what do you call it? I don't want to say non-sustainability, but really the textile industry is, the #2 polluter in the world. You have like 92 million tons of waste of textiles going into the landfills every year. These can't be incinerated. It's, so what Mimaki Engineering's come to market with the Neochromato is really to be able to offer, the beginning stages of a solution and concept that can create circularity and sustainability and recycle and renew within digital textile printing. So I think circularity is like the really key component here. So taking a look at that, and really trying to create a technology, that can create a future, a better future for all of us and lessen the impact, which I think is really cool from a manufacturer to really take, a leadership position here. So the technology, to create the circular economy, this is, really the concept stages of the Neochromato we presented at Printing United. And, the systemization and engineering of that final, machine and product, Mimaki Engineering is working on the commercialization segment of it. But for the concept part, we showed how you can, have a printed piece of polyester. And then with this printed dye sub printed polyester, you then coat it with a I can't even say that word. Josh, can you help me?
Proprietary.
Proprietary. Sorry, it's been a long day. So a proprietary solution, and then you're able to use a non-woven, cloth to go on top of it. This can also be recycled, and then you're going to heat it. So what happens? I think we have this little cute diagram showing that part. So you put the non-woven on top. You place it between 2 pieces of metal, and then you heat it. So, it's about, 4 minutes that you'll put it under the clamshell press. And then once we remove it, all of the dye that was on the printed piece of polyester has been removed. kind of like a
just
magic trick, but it's just
yeah.
science. Yeah,
So just to give a little clarity to the idea of circularity, right? So when we
sure.
think about things being eco, we think about them being recycled, right? But recycling is you take something and you take it and you turn it into something else and you use it for something else. The circularity side of this is the idea that we would take a garment or a soft signage display or something like that that has served its purpose or was never used. You would take the dye sublimation ink out of it and then be able to reuse it again. So it doesn't change shape. We're just taking the dye out and allowing it to then be re-imaged, and that can be done multiple times.
Yep, our internal tests up to 20 times have been tested.
Wow.
Yeah, we also like the big exhibits, like Printing United or ISA in the US. A lot of the exhibit graphics, they just get thrown in the trash once they tear down all the booths. So, this could be an opportunity here, within additional markets as well. Really, if you're interested with this concept, we are asking and inviting you to come get in touch with us, and have, more conversation regarding.
Yeah, it's a good point. So this is I think of all the technology previews that we did at Printing United this year, this is the most sort of proof of concept thing that we did. So we showed that it absolutely works, but still the idea of how do we then integrate that into a workflow or into an automated system, and how exactly is that going to happen? Who would use it? How would it be done? They're questions that are still to be answered. But as you said, I think it's really exciting that Mimaki is starting to ask that question and to say, hey, here's the thing that we think could help. Now let's start to have some discussions around how we might implement it and what would that look like.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a step in the right direction, in the beginning of something great. So Josh, I think that's all I have for everyone today. I don't know if you had any additional questions or
No,
highlights.
that was great. Thank you so much. It was nice to really be able to dig in a little bit. As you know, it's so hard at a trade show, whether you're exhibiting or you're walking the show, to be able to get in and be able to, listen and focus on one thing when there's a million different things going on. So thank you so much for taking the time to go through all this with us. And I think, I'm excited. I know you're excited, and I hope people watching are excited about not only the new products, but the new technology previews, and just to see where Mimaki takes all these great new offerings. So again, Victoria, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody, for joining.